Stop making this huge mistake when it comes to developing relationships. Many people think that once somebody connects with me online, follows me on Instagram, or develops some kind of relationship online or through social media, that is it. And let me just tell you, the data, the money, the opportunities speak for itself, and that is only the beginning. So don't put all your eggs in your online basket. You need to develop your in-person basket and learn the art and science of networking. And let me give you some reasons why it makes so much sense that when you are traveling, if you're going out and about, and especially if you're traveling to another city, it makes so much dollars and cents to make sure you connect with people that you have an online relationship with, but strengthen it and deepen that relationship when you meet with them in person. So not only am I going to share that with you, but I'm going to share some statistics with you to make you understand, help you understand why it makes sense to develop the art and science of networking so that you can strengthen those online relationships in person. Number one, one reason why you need to make sure that you expand your network, not only online, but in person, because Harvard Business Review recently said that 95% of executives, especially if you're doing B2B sales, say that face-to-face meetings are essential to building long-term relationships. Now, if you're selling a course, if you're selling a consumable or consumer good online and you're going B2C, you probably can do that and be successful. There are a ton of people that are making a grip doing e-commerce and selling online, and I do not knock that hustle. In fact, I applaud that hustle. But if you are somebody that is trying to land those 5, 6, and 7-figure deals, you ain't doing it online. People want to be able to look you in your eye, shake your hand, and strengthen and validate all the things that they got to know online. So it's so important to make sure that you trust the data, and especially for all of you creatives, entrepreneurs, business owners that want to do business with other businesses and get those large 5, 6, 7-figure deals, you must see those people face to face, because people have to know you, like you, and trust you. And one of the ways to do that is to be able to meet those people face to face. So starting a relationship online is good. But if you really want those to develop into a long-term business relationship, it is critical to be able to see those people face to face, especially if you are looking to do B2B deals with those folks, because they want to shake your hand. They want to make sure you're not a bot, an AI, and they want to make sure that you are the real deal. And sometimes culturally they say, well, if something goes wrong, I want to know where to find you. I want to know what you look like, right? But we're not doing that because we are professionals. But I'm just saying, in person is a way to strengthen and solidify those B2B deals. Number two, the second reason why people want to meet you in person and solidify the relationship that you have with them online is because in-person meetings yield a 34% higher conversion rate than online. So if you are trying to sell something, especially B2B, and you close them and you talk to people in person, you're able to close 3 to 4 times more if you actually meet with those people in person. So again, I never knock anybody's hustle. I think online relationships, online meaning social media, through your website, email, whatever the case may be, those are great. But when you want to go deeper and you know that there's a lot of business left or a lot of opportunity left with somebody, it's important to see them face to face. So when you are traveling to that conference, when you are going out of town, maybe for that one meeting, go through your network. And one of the things I talk about in my Open Gates program is learning how to mine your data, meaning how do you look at and understand what your network looks like, where is it structured, how do you mine it, how do you access it, how do you know how many people you know in New York, how many people do you know in Houston, how many people are in Chicago, how are those people ranked, which ones are important. Those are all very critical parts to know as you're building your network, because you can build a lot of the singles online, you can build a lot of the doubles online, but the home runs, that happens in person. So you have a higher likelihood of converting deals when you meet with them in person. Number three, the other reason why it's so important to take those relationships offline and strengthen them in person is because when it comes to execs, and again, if you're doing B2C, that's cool. and you're doing consumer goods, that's cool. E-commerce, that's cool. I ain't knocking that. But when you are thinking of long-term relationships, and even for those people that aren't thinking about the business sense, but you're just thinking about how do I develop better relationships with people that I maybe only have met one time or two times. These are the things that you should be doing to help strengthen those relationships. And especially if you're an introvert or somebody that struggles with developing these types of relationships, the cool thing is they already know you. You are already connected. So once you meet with them, you have plenty to talk about because of things you find in the chops, like your hobbies, your occupation, people, places, schools, those things that you already know you have in common with them. So the third thing is many executives or business people, 87% of them, said that the best way to communicate complex ideas. So if you are a business owner and you're trying to get an investor, if you are a business, you have a tech platform and you're trying to explain it to another business. Sometimes a lot is lost in translation when you're trying to communicate via email, you're trying to communicate via social media. A lot of times things are just difficult to comprehend through electronic communication. But you sit down, chop it up for 30 minutes, you can knock that thing out. So that's another reason why it's so important when you're traveling or when you're going someplace and there's an opportunity to meet more than one person. Since you're already out, you might as well make the most of it, even locally. Because I tell you what, if I'm in Atlanta and I'm in Midtown or I'm in Upper West Side now is what they call where I live. But if I'm going out to Gwinnett, that's like 45, 50 minutes, and I have one meeting, I might as well look and see who else is up there because I'm already in the vicinity. I've already battled Atlanta traffic, so I might as well make the most of it. And the plus side is that I will be able to strengthen a relationship with somebody that I already know, but maybe I don't know them. I think I like them, but possibly I don't trust them. And remember, those are the three key ingredients to making sure that people do business with you, people establish relationships with you, and people will be around for the long haul. All right. Number four, the fourth reason why it's so important to take your virtual connections in person is because 85% of execs and business people actually prefer in-person meetings. And the more expensive the deal is, the more expensive your value proposition is, the more money you want to raise, the more important the type of person you want to meet, right? It may not always be about money. It might be that you personally want to meet somebody that is at a very high caliber, they're in high demand. So if you can get 30 minutes with them, it could change your world, right? I always believe we are one person away from somebody that might just change your life, all right? So 85% of business execs said that they prefer in-person meetings, especially when you're talking about strategy, partnerships, collaborations, finalizing contracts, all right? So many times, even online, you guys agree, you sent some paperwork, but I got questions and I want to sit across from you and answer these questions. And it can be done online. Many deals are done online, but for larger deals, more times than not, and again, trust the data. The data says that 85% of execs want to do those deals in person. All right. So we're almost done, but I got number 5 for you. So number 5, the reason why you need to make sure you capitalize on building those in-person relationships to strengthen your online relationships is because 68% of professionals, so 7 out of 10 professionals feel that networking opportunities are much stronger in person. So you ever realize sometimes when you have a conversation online, I say something, you say something, we go back and forth, but my ideas tend to flow just in my own head. But many times when you meet people in person, there's the third entity that exists. So that is the synergy that happens when you're sitting across from somebody, when you're in their presence and you guys get to chopping it up, the juices get flowing and all kind of ideas start to percolate and come about. That's hard to do online. And sometimes it's because you also see body language. You also see people's facial expressions. Sometimes you're able to walk around the room and just think. And sometimes as you walk, ideas come to you. So that's another reason why it's so important to not only network online, which is, again, I'm not knocking it, but to take that to a whole nother level and actually develop those relationships in person, because 7 out of 10 professionals say that they prefer and they believe that the in-person networking opportunities are much stronger than they are in person. All right. And number 6, the sixth reason why you should strengthen your online relationships by learning how to network and develop these relationships in person is because and I'm talking now about my business owners, people doing business, looking for 4, 5, 6, 7-figure deals. 82% of B2B buyers say long-term relationships are critical to success. All right. And there's a saying, the more expensive the value proposition, or more expensive the product or the investment, the longer it takes, the more cooks in the kitchen, meaning there are more people involved. So it is so critical to make sure that you develop these relationships. And even if they're strong online, sometimes you may not know that there's a block to getting to the next level because people want to connect with you in person. Sometimes all it takes is one meeting. In one meeting, if you're prepared and you know how to develop that network, you know how to pitch, you know how to listen, you know how to close the deal, you know how to continue that relationship and be able to oscillate back and forth between online and in person, it will help add to the bottom line, because you can get a lot of things done online. But again, to take it to another level, learn the skills to help you be effective in front of people. And you do that by connecting with them wherever you're traveling or visiting another part of town. And the last thing that I want to add to you or give you is for number 7, the last thing is out of good old fashioned MIT, right? You know, there's a few smart people there, but they had a study that said 40% of people are more likely to be engaged and focused in in-person meetings than online. Now, I ain't trying to call you out, but I already know, because I do it sometimes. When you're on a Zoom meeting, a Google Teams meeting, or Google Meet, you're talking, you're doing your virtual meeting, but you know there's a text message that pops up. There's a sale on Amazon you want to go check out. There are other things and distractions that you can do, even though you're looking at the screen, because you can listen while you're typing something else. You can't do that when you're in person, right? So that's another reason why people will also make it sound like they feel much more appreciated. They will actually listen to you because, again, you get more body language, you get a lot more engagement. It just is hard to convey that level of engagement and trust and just interest online versus in person. So that is number 7. And so I'm just giving you these things because these are tools for you that are business people, you are creators, you are entrepreneurs. You want somebody to basically do business with you for the long haul. In fact, one of the things I believe is that once a customer, always a customer. And a way to ensure that is that you can strengthen your online relationships, your virtual relationships, by meeting people in person. And when you meet them in person, you must have the right skills to make sure you can present yourself well, articulate your value proposition, listen, engage, and build upon the strong foundation that you started online, but you're just taking it offline and in person. So next time you travel, next time you go across town, next time you have some free time and you're out and about, leverage this tip, because it is a secret weapon that a lot of people don't do. And the ones that don't do it are the ones that are missing out. The ones that do, like myself, just got back from H-Town, was there for 2 conferences, hit some people up, and you never know who you're going to run into. Ran into Keith Lee while I was out there. Again, another reason to always be networking. So I am Kirk Barnes. DM me the word Gates if you need help with learning how to get yourself offline and into these in-person meetings, and make sure that you are prepared to take your networking to a whole nother level. I am Kirk Barnes. Let's go. DM me the word Gates. Let's get it.